thank you for waiting around for us. And I just want to announce to all of you that we just had a very successful bilateral meeting with the Honorable Wale, Prime Minister of Solomon Islands. And on behalf of Papua New Guinea, I appreciated his kind gesture of making time available to come for us early on in his tenureship as Prime Minister. He comes at a very important time when our two people, our two nations are journeying through hand in hand, walking side by side in our moments of life as independent states. Solomon Islands became independent in 1978. 2 years from today, they'll be passing through their 50th anniversary. We are passing through our 50th anniversary year today. And the future is shaped by what we construct today. In the meeting, to all Papua New Guineans, I place our country's appreciation to the great camaraderie, brotherhood, family and kinship and bond we've had since 1975 when we were a country, or since 1978 when they were a country. But our two people's life goes beyond, much further back than just 1975 or 78. Before there was a sovereign border, we were people of Melanesia living on this part of earth. The same culture, same people, same heritage, same ethnicity, and we became Christians. And so deeply in our two people and nations' characteristics shared Melanesian Christian heritage. Prime Minister Wale comes to the table at this time when his nation is moving towards 50th anniversary year in 2 years' time. We have lessons to learn from them. They also have lessons to learn from us. We both have challenges that almost are the same, whether it's security challenge, or economic challenges, or social challenges, or border challenges, or even our response to the world family when there's geopolitics contest. The same challenges are faced in Honiara as much as it is faced here in Guinea. And our two people must find common grounds in which we coexisted. Today I want to announce that the culmination of a meeting concluded with us signing the Framework Agreement on Development and Economic Cooperation between 2026 to 2030. 2026 is the year we are now traveling into our 51st year. 2028, we will be part of the moment when they celebrate 50 years of nationhood. And they too will then be traveling into the next leg of the nation's journey. And as two people from the same ancestry and same history, it is important that we coexist and we understand each other and work side by side. And the Prime Minister is bringing to the table fresh insights. And right now, this year, for instance, Solomon Islands chairs the Pacific Island Forum Nations. Solomon Island is also chair of Troika. And in their work, they are able to construct what is the view of the Pacific Island family nations' views on trade, commerce, geopolitics, environment, climate change. And so PNG affirmed our fullest support behind Solomon Islands leadership. And more so as the Honorable Major Wale takes up his work as Prime Minister, we stand ready to work with him to make sure his leadership of Solomon Islands and also his leadership of the Pacific Island Forum Nation is amplified in the right space, together contributing to the construct of our blue Pacific continent or our Pacific Island Forum Nations. Our two nations will work under the Framework Agreement on Development and Economic Cooperation. Papua New Guinea must appreciate Solomon Islands is the country where we have our biggest foreign investment from PNG companies. Over 2 billion kina, I beg your pardon, 1 billion kina worth of investments we have in Solomon Islands right now. Companies like New Britain Oil Palm, companies like BSV, Telecom, and many, many more companies operate in Solomon Islands. They've been wonderful hosts to PNG business. We also look forward to sending more investors there. Likewise, we do invite Solomon Islands investors and business to come and operate in our country. We also agreed that we will look at a concept of free trade that is specially tailored in between Solomon Islands and PNG and extend that to Vanuatu and Fiji and possibly to the other Pacific Island family. Under his words, he's trying to construct a security envelope that is befitting for all of us to live in. So I welcomed him very well into our meetings and into our country, and I will reciprocate in a bilateral visit to Solomon Islands at the earliest, in which PNG will also indicate what level of other supports we could give them. We have programs that we will align, and Cabinet will clear a specific paper for the construct of PNG Solomon Islands relationship. What entails in this framework will unbundle properly, and we will spell that out properly. And in my next visit to Solomon Islands, then we will coexist. Together, we are stronger. Our ocean has substantial wealth. Our land has substantial wealth. And I want to say thank you for him inviting PNG mining companies to look into the mining activities in Solomon Islands. And together we could do much. And whatever capacity we have, we export to them. And whatever they also have, they will export to us as we work side by side into the next leg of our country's life as independent states. Mr. Prime Minister, you warm my heart by coming across all the way. Instead of me coming first to you, you've come first to me. So as one talks, me brother, me got big Ladina want to you, and we will complete here, and we'll go to Parliament, and he will fly back this afternoon. But I will follow him in due course to go and carry on the work of our two nations, working together, journeying together side by side as we go into the future. Mr. Prime Minister, please.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Your Prime Minister has received me and my team very warmly today. Earlier this morning, I also had a wonderful call on your Governor General. He's such a gentleman. And it really is a pleasure to be in this great country. You have a wonderful and a beautiful country, lovely people. It always is wonderful to come and visit PNG, but especially now in my capacity formally as Prime Minister of Solomon Islands. Our two countries have relations that are bedded in our peoples, very strong, of course, over the last 100 years in the work of the churches between our two peoples, but of course, way before that, in terms of coming from the Melanesian ancestry and commonality that we share in that, both in culture and in the exchanges. I am particularly heartened by the approach that your Prime Minister and his government are taking in terms of providing leadership, not only to the Melanesian region, but also through to Pacific Islands Forum. Whether you like it or not, you have a big responsibility as Papua New Guinea. You're the biggest brother in this family of islands. You may not think of yourselves as an island. We kind of see you as a continent, but you're still an island, but the biggest one of the lot of us. And that comes with responsibilities, and God's endowed you also, of course, with resources and good leadership. And that too comes with onerous responsibilities to be able to provide leadership, not just within yourselves, but also to the rest of us in the region. And so, Solomon Islands, we are looking to Papua New Guinea in terms of that leadership, but also in collaboration to address common issues, challenges, and also in trying to reach consensus in the region on important issues going forward, one of which is regional security architecture, which is a matter that we discussed this morning. Again, the Melanesian Spearhead Group is an important platform that specifically focuses on our interests in the sub-region. And so we had some discussion around what should be happening. I think there are some disappointments generally with the MSG that it could be more effective and have more robust processes in place. That's something I think we must continue together to work on going forward. We want an MSG that is effective and not a pushover. We discussed briefly the issue of our people in West Papua. We want to be good friends with Indonesia, so we don't want to antagonize Indonesia. But we are concerned about human rights situation in West Papua, and the Prime Minister has some good suggestion as to how the dialogue with Indonesia could happen that would encourage less paranoia, I suppose is the word, less paranoia about the rights of our Melanesian brothers and sisters in West Papua. There's no need to hide away from the issues of West Papua. There's no need to sidestep any of it. We need to talk about these things openly. And we want to say to Indonesia, we're your friends, and friends talk candidly with each other about issues. But that's, again, an issue that I will be looking to leadership, to Papua New Guinea and especially Prime Minister Marape on. As your Prime Minister alluded to, the Solomon Islands is looking to Papua New Guinea again for lessons in the resource extraction sector, so that we see better governance in our own resources sector, to make sure that our resources can build Solomon Islands up in the way that you are doing. Otherwise, we would run the risk of what the forestry industry has done to our country and basically raped and pillaged the environment and have left very little to show for it in terms of indigenous tribes and populations. That's a lesson, a hard lesson we've learned. It's taken 40 years to learn, and it's corrupted most of our public sector, unfortunately, and we don't want that behavior to migrate over into the minerals sector. You have done something in this country with the mineral sector that is the envy, I think, of the world. And we look forward greatly to emulating that example. And we will, in my letter to the Prime Minister, we have invited Papua New Guinean investors in this area, mineral sector, but also, your SOEs, Komul, could be participants in our mineral sector. It'd be much easier for brothers to be talking to each other where there are challenges that need to be met, as opposed to dealing with those who are way outside of our region, different from our culture, that are perhaps a little bit harder to find understanding, common understanding on various issues. So this is an area that we are, again, looking to Papua New Guinea for leadership and support in. Prime Minister, I look forward to your visit when you visit Honiara. You can meet more of my colleagues, ministers and cabinet, and explore further some of these issues. I know you will be visiting during a missions week for the church as well, so we won't try and distract you from that important work, but it'll be a wonderful opportunity to continue our conversation. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Any question from anyone? Yumi Pajman Long, Prime Minister Wale, make him good luck talk. One talk me, brother me, leader block country blogan. He came up at the right time. The next leg of our two nations walk going forward. So he may stand up ready. Long give him support where possible. You can give him normal. We'll take one or two questions before we're running a little bit behind time. We need to move on. All right, Papua New Guinea today has over $1 billion Kenya worth of investment in Solomon Islands. But I want to say the relationship within PNG and Solomon cannot be pegged against monetary value. We have deep sentimental ties to them. They are us, we are them. Blood is thicker than water. And as you heard, my brother spoke about some sentimental values in Melanesia. So because we now have these sovereign divides, we coexist within different regulations and sovereign policy and legislative requirements. But we relate with them at a mutual respect and trust. If they need help from investment, we'll go and assist. As I said earlier, there's no level of monetary amount that we could place on such deep, sentimental, value-based relationship. They've been kind on us. We have more investors there than they have in our country. In the new free trade we want to cultivate, our business must not trample on them. We must protect them as we all grow together. And they've invited us to go and look at investment in the mining space. I told them, like in program, we now have 51%, and foreign investors have 49%. We go to them and invest in and work with them in the mining. They got some good mining operations there. You can look at it, and we'll take up 49%. We'll give 51% to them. We operate a mine. We got enough capacity in Octady and elsewhere to go into this space. So we don't want to put money value behind, money figure behind this relationship. It is a relationship of high value.
So I think, just from what the Prime Minister say, that 1 billion Kenya investments going to rise to way beyond 10 by the time we have some of these investments in there. I greatly look forward to it. I may be retired by then, but I will greatly look forward to it.
Yeah, so it's asking some of our capacities here. We run Octady mine ourselves. Octady is 98% Papua New Guinea. So we also have asked Kumul to be a mine contractor also. Kumul Minerals Holding Limited this afternoon is meeting up with MRA as well as Kumul Mineral to also discuss on these matters. We also will relate stronger in fisheries. I believe our greatest potential lies in fish and fish resources. They're big in tuna, we are big in tuna. Together with our brothers and sisters in Micronesia, we hold almost 60% of world's tuna supply. And so that Minister Wong has been working this space with his counterpart in PNG nations, Solomon Islands included. So we'll still work this space. For me, Solomon Islands has a greater potential in having downstream processed tuna, PNG likewise, or fish. So that's a space we want to go on. We discussed, we don't want to be borrowers for life. We don't want to be asking aid and grant for life. Our own resources are there to sustain us, and we want to work hand in hand to make sure from our own resources, our balance sheet as a country is strong. And to Papua New Guinea, you know, I've told you in 2019, by 2027, we'll come back to a balanced budget. We are on target for a balanced budget in 2027. Our reconstruction of economy is shaping up very well. And deep in the heart and soul of this reconstructed economy is taking back more from our resources without hurting our international investors. That same principle will apply to them. If we go to them as foreign investor, they take more, we take less, and appropriately. We pay tax, so in the process, we mine their resources and assist them grow, and we take our fair share back. So he's invited our mining companies to go and have a look at the mining operations in Solomon Islands. That's why he's giving us maybe 10 billion in the not too distant region.
Yes.
All right. Anything else? Me blakat Bomana Police Training, me Regional Police Training College, 200 space along Solomon Island, Lokam start longs training program long all. But I've also asked Australia, who's a strong security partner, that whilst Bomana is there, set up training facilities also that we could twin in special operational methods in Solomon Islands, 1 or 2, so together we coexist. And under Prime Minister Wale's leadership, he's looking at a regional security architecture. That proposal we will put to all of us, and it's complete. We'll see how we could have a security architecture that defends ourselves from illegal fishing, drug trafficking, crimes on high seas and in our islands, so we live in a safe zone for our people going forward. All right, last question from anyone, any one of you. We have to run to another appointment now, so. Nogada, we've given you enough to cover, so please don't cover much of what I said, cover much of what he said. He's a special guest. Post Korea National, put him on front page tomorrow. I don't ask for front pages, but please give my brother important front page cover. He's just to come to us, and early on in his, after us, he'll be visiting other countries also, and I will reciprocate a visit to him at the very, very earliest. Thank you, Thomas. God bless.